I would like to show you how to use the Google Quiz assignment because I find this really useful. It's easy for students to do. They know what they're doing. You can attach it directly as an assignment. They can go in, take it, and then you can go into your drive and see individual student results. And you can get data reports that show you how students did on each question, who's taken it, what score they've gotten. You can provide feedback. So it's a great tool for pre and post assessments and also for formative assessments. I use it for surveys as well. So this week I gave the seventh graders a timeline summary for World War I and World War II. We're looking at victory gardens. So just to make sure they've read it and have an okay understanding of it, I'm going to make them a quiz assignment on this reading. So I'm going to go into grade 7, New Mexico history. I'm going to go into classwork and create. And I'm going to choose not assignment, but quiz assignment. So when I click on quiz assignment, it is going to bring me to a page to create it. The one thing that is confusing about quiz assignments is that you create it in Google Classroom, but the actual Google form that is the quiz, although you're creating it through the Google Classroom platform, is in your drive. So students will be able to access it from the classroom. You can look who's turned it in on Classroom, but if you want to see the results, you actually need to go into your drive. So I'm going to call this timeline summary quiz. And I'm going to tell the students to, after you have read the timeline summary for World War I and World War II, please complete this quiz. I recommend taking notes on the reading or opening the reading in another tab while you take the quiz for reference. Okay, so I will add the timeline summary onto here as a link so that they can find it easily, so they know, even though I've already posted it in the stream, so that they know what to do. And then I'm going to click on this where it says blank quiz in Google Forms. So this is where it can get confusing. So I'm going to click on this and I need to title this the same thing. So now I am in, you can see it opened in a new tab. I'm actually in my Google Drive now. So I want to give this the same title. So I called it Timeline Summary Quiz. And I'm going to call this Timeline Summary Quiz 2. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I know what in my drive matches to what I've assigned. This will actually show up in my Google Drive in the folder for grade 7 New Mexico history. So I don't think I need a description on here, and I'm just going to start adding questions. So I can pick the type of question. So here I'm going to say I want my first question. Let's just do a multiple choice. So right here, I can pick. So multiple choice, I have check the boxes, a drop down, I have short answer. So short answer means really short, not like a couple sentences, like a couple words. A paragraph is they can write in what they would like as the answer. Multiple choice, you can add your choices, and then check boxes is similar. It's sort of like a survey. If you are doing a survey and you want them to be able to like click all that apply, I would suggest check boxes. Um, so I'm going to ask, what year did New Mexico become, not a very good typist, a state? Okay, so they actually have a suggested correct answer in here. I'm only interested in the year. So, and I don't want it to be number one. So I'm going to use some other options from the reading so that I make sure that they're actually looking at it. These are my seventh graders, and I don't want to make this too hard. I'm just trying to make sure they read it with some level of focus and comprehension. So I'm going to use other dates that are in the timeline as the alternative answers. The other thing I could do would be, actually, I might do this. I think it makes more sense if I just put them in chronologically. So I'm going to put 1912. I'm going to add another one. Let's see, 1918. I'm going to add another one. Oops, I'm going to make this 1914. 1914, 1918, and 1939. Okay, so I could put as many or as few multiple choice answers as I would like. So I've got my question in here, and what I would really like to do is, one, make sure the test knows what the right answer is, assign the number of points for the test, and what is great in here is you can add feedback for both right and wrong answers. So I use this as a tool, the feedback as a tool to sort of reteach. So it may take more time, but I feel like students are able to, when they get something wrong, or even if they get it right, they could see the level of detail I'm expecting in an answer. Sometimes I use video links if they want more information for something, but this feedback is really important. So I go down here to answer key, and I'm going to click on this. So the first thing I want to do is pick the right answer. So 1912 is the correct answer. And then I'm going to add answer feedback. So you can add different feedback for incorrect answers and for correct answers. So if you want to say, nice job, great work with the reading, or incorrect, why it's incorrect, I usually just add a little bit from the reading back in here. So I'm going to maybe make the same thing for both. So I'm going to say New Mexico became the 47th state in 1912. And I think I'm going to, so I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to put the same thing. I'm just going to copy and paste this in for the correct answers as well. And I'm going to write, nice work. Yes, New Mexico became the 47th state in 1912. And I'm going to save this. Okay, so the other thing that I can do is I can make this worth a certain number of points. So let's say I want to make this 5 points. So now I have the question, I have multiple answers, I've chosen the correct answer, and I've provided feedback whether the students get this right or wrong. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to have multiple choice again. So I'm going to go to this plus, add a question right here. It's already multiple choice, and I want them to know if they can identify who the Axis powers were, since those stayed the same in World War I and World War II. So I'm going to write in here, in both World War I and World War II, who were the Allied power, I'm sorry, not Axis, Allied powers. Allied powers. Okay. So I want to make sure this is in multiple choice. And I'm going to make option 1, England, Germany, and France. I'm going to make question 2, Britain, France, and Russia. And I'm going to make 3, Germany, Italy, and Japan. So I think 3 is enough. I could keep adding different, well, you know what? Maybe I will add one more because Germany, Italy, and Japan were the Axis powers. So maybe I will put in the Central powers as well. So now I'll put in Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Turkey. Okay, so I've got my answers in here, and now I'm going to go to the answer key. I'm going to choose Britain, France, and Russia, and I'm going to add answer feedback now. So again, I'm probably going to just give feedback for both the incorrect and correct answers, so that even if they got the answer correct, they could see a little more detail from the reading and just some repetition, reteaching, reinforcement of these ideas. So I will say the Allied powers consisted of England or Britain, France, and Russia, which later became the Soviet Union. In both World War I and World War II. Say in World War I, the Allied forces were fighting against the Central Powers, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Turkey. In World War II, the Allied forces were fighting against the Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy and then paste it into the correct answers as well, just so that no matter what, they can see this feedback. So see here how this feedback is in here. When they won't get it every time they answer. When they submit the test, it will show them what they got right and wrong, and then it will also show the feedback. So they will be able to see it whether they got it right or wrong. And I'm going to make this one 5 points as well. Okay, so let's do a short answer one next. So I'm going to go up here again. I'm going to add another question. And this time I want to do a short answer. So I'm going to go in and change to short answer. So this is like you can think of short answer as like a fill in the blank. So I had them think about the Spanish flu. In fact, I might move this question up because the Spanish flu was in 1918. So I might think about moving that. I'll show you how to do that. So the question I'm going to ask is, New Mexico experienced a pandemic like COVID-19 in 1918 that killed more than 1,000 people. This pandemic was called I'm just going to use the underline here so that they know. And then, so this is another place where you need to predict what students are going to say. So typos can affect it, capitalization affects it. So the answer to this is the Spanish flu, because the and then the blank. So I'm to add a correct answer. I clicked that button at the bottom to add in the answer and the feedback. So I'm going to put capitalized Spanish flu. I'm going to add another correct answer, and I'm going to say Spanish with flu not capitalized. I'm going to add another one that has it neither capitalized. I might get other answers as well. So I have it capitalized in here, so I might, I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. So sometimes students want to restate the question, they're trained to do that. I think the blank should fill it in for most of these, and if not, I can catch it. I go through and review them. So I'm going to add answer feedback here, and I'm going to say the Spanish flu, which was not related to Spain or Spanish people, was a deadly pandemic that killed many people in 1918. Okay, so I have this as feedback. So the other thing that I could do in here, if students are really interested in the Spanish flu, I can go in here and put Spanish flu 1918 and then look for a quick video. So I would probably research this before doing the test, but just to show you. So here's a quick video of the 1918 pandemic flu, or a quick article for it. There's a little flu epidemic. So I can copy the video URL. And then I know this is a trusted site because it's the CDC. So I can put in here and I can paste this link in and I can put learn more about the Spanish flu of 1918. And then I'm going to add this. So I'm going to save this. And then, you know what? I think that what I want to do is edit this. And I want to add this as a video instead. I wonder if this, okay, so I want this and I'm going to select this. So I want it, since it's a video, I think they're more likely to click on it if they see that it's a video rather than a link. So I'm going to save this. And so now when they turn this in, whether they got it right or wrong, they could click on this and learn more about the Spanish flu if they're interested in it. Okay. So maybe, let's see. Oh, I forgot to, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add points. So we'll make this one worth 5 points too. Okay, and now we're done with this question. And even though I have a couple more questions that I will probably add to this, I'm going to stop here just so that you can see what does this look like. Okay, so let's say I've finished. I'm just going to have a 3-question test. I could go up here to send and send it, but I don't want to do that. Okay, what I want to do, because I'm in my drive right now, I don't want to have to put a bunch of email addresses in. So what I'm going to do, I can see that this is all saved in the drive. Instead of pushing send, I'm going to go back to my tab where I created this assignment. Okay, so I'm going to make this worth a total of, let's say, 50 points for taking it. And I'm going to make it do, let's see, I'll make it do maybe next week. Actually, I'm going to leave this off because I don't actually want to, I'm in my actual class. I don't want to scare my students by assigning it. But you can, of course, make a due date. I'll put it under a topic maybe. I could add a rubric if I want to. But, oh, the other thing I need to do is I need to get that timeline summary and attach it to my quiz. So I'm going to go in here, see where I put the timeline summary. And so I am going to copy this link And I'm going to add that link onto here. Copy. Make sure I've got the right thing in here, add the link. So now I have on this, they can see when they get this assignment, they will be able to see the quiz, and the name of this quiz will actually change to the name that I have in my drive. So now that I have this in here, I can assign it. So now my students, you can see if I look in the stream, you can see that I assigned this. When students click on it, it's going to take them to the quiz. Here's the instructions. So they'll see this. They'll see, here's the timeline, here's the quiz. When they open it up, it's going to look like this. They're just going to take it, okay? So I can go in here and say, let me put my answers in, and I'll say, oh, here's my answer, Spanish flu, and I'm going to submit. So I could view my score, and it will tell me my score since I've taken it. And so you can see here now, I can see, okay, I got that one right. And I can also see the feedback. Nice work. Yes, New Mexico became the 47th state in 1912. In both World War I and II, the Allied powers were Britain, France, and Russia. So I can see this feedback. And then you can see here, the Spanish flu. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I want to know more about that. I can click on that as a student, and I can see what the Spanish flu was like and learn a little bit more about it. Okay, so this is just an example. I'm going to finish up this test for my students later, but what I did want to show you is what does it look like if I want to go see the responses. So as a teacher, when I go in here, let me close this and close this. So if I go in here as a teacher and I look at classwork and I look at this timeline summary quiz, I want to view the assignment. I can look at student work. I took it, I'm a teacher, so it doesn't show that any students have taken it. So I can look at the instructions or I can look at student work. But I can't look at the responses through Google Classroom. What I need to do is go into my drive. So I go up to the waffle, I go to my drive, and then since I was just working on this, it'll be right at the top here. And I can click on this in my drive. And instead of looking at the questions, I can look at the responses. So I can see that I responded. So I've had one person take it, and I can look at this summary. So it had an average of 15, a range of 15, and a median of 15. And then I can see the questions. What was the percentages that people got correct on these? Okay. So I just want to show you one where you can see the data for something that I've already done with other students. So I'm going to look at Mars Facts. Oh, here we go. This is one where I had a lot of my 8th grade students take it.